Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com. Today I want to talk to you about believing in the impossible and why you must believe in it. You see, Jesus was very clear. He said, "For with God all things are possible." But he also said, which is commonly overlooked, that to him that believeth all things are possible. You see, for with God all things are possible is that man operating with God who believes to him all things are possible. So when you say something's impossible, it can't happen for you, it can't work out in your favor, you're reproaching your maker. You're speaking evil of him, you're doubting him, you're walking in unbelief. Now oftentimes we look to our own devices, we try to make flesh our arm, we put our trust in men, but you have an unlimited God who is willing, able, and actively in your life to bring about the most impossible things you could possibly imagine. I know early on as a Christian, I had this idea that I didn't want to bother God with small things. But what I realized was when I didn't pray for getting a parking spot or whatever it was, I'm talking about something just trivial. I'm trying to think of something trivial off the top of my head. I can't think of anything specific that I was praying for, but just something trivial. But when you don't pray to God for those trivial things, it's really a sign of unbelief. It's a sign of lack of confidence in him, because otherwise it's not taking any extra time out of God's day. It's not taxing him. It's not too much for him. There's a mentality like he's only got so much to go around, so you gotta only wait for the big things, then you can pray. No, my friend. The smallest, most trivial matter you should rely on your Father for. He's not looking to you to be independent of him. You are dependent on him. In him we live and move and have our being. And because of that, anything's possible. If you'll believe, anything is possible to you. Because for with God all things are possible. To him that believeth all things are possible. Why would you doubt that? Now you may say, well, I haven't experienced that. I believed for big things and nothing happened. But did you really believe? And here's something more powerful. Because maybe you did believe, but did you talk yourself out of it? Did you talk yourself into unbelief and doubt? Because see, if you don't follow Philippians 4:8 and you're not in that high vibrational state, if you're not focused on things that are true, things that are lovely, things that are of good report, things that are virtuous, things that are praiseworthy, if you're not focused on those good things, those positive things, do you really have confident belief and faith for that thing you were believing for? It's not very likely. You may have mental assent to it, but deep in your subconscious mind, you don't believe it. Because if you did, you would have the corresponding positive, high vibrational state that goes along with believing that. Remember, Jesus said, "Whosoever shall say in this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt, not in his head, in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith." You see, my friend, it must be that belief from the heart. And that's a little different than the mental assent that we can try to do or try to talk ourselves into. And how that comes, well, part of that belief from the heart comes from affirmations and visualization. Putting these things ever before you of living in that experience. Remember, Jesus said, believe that he has received them. When he prayed, then he receives them. So if you're believing right here and now that you've received, acting like you've received it, talking like you've received it, that's the person who gets the end result. That's real belief. And so affirmations are very helpful in that regard because you're programming your subconscious mind. And it's not a one-time thing. You might need to do it for days and days and days. Maybe weeks even. You've had a lifetime of programming that's bad, that's working against you, it's not doing the things you want. that causes fear, that causes doubt, that causes unbelief. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but that's all right, because that's time that is going to permanently reorganize your subconscious programming and make you a better person. Make you a person who can receive these things they want to believe for. Make you a person who can believe for those things in the first place. Not just mentally acknowledge them, but truly can believe from the heart that those things what they had said that they've received. That's one of the reasons I want to encourage you to get my book, 600 Wealth, Prosperity, and Abundance Affirmations. It's also on Audible. It's an audiobook as well, and any other audiobook platform, because those affirmations are so powerful. And if you'll allow yourself, especially the audiobook, just allow those affirmations to wash over you and become part of your subconscious mind, you will have great results. That's why I've left those affirmations just running in the background while I'm sleeping. I've made my own affirmation audios and played them to reaffirm and build into my subconscious mind those things that I believed for. And then, as I go throughout the day, I don't speak a word contrary to the end result that I'm believing for. I don't acknowledge it. I don't speak it. If someone tries to talk me into that, I absolutely do not give any place to that. I just speak forth boldly and abundantly what I'm believing for. And I have to be clear. I'm not talking about lying to people and, oh, I'm a trillionaire, and you're telling people lies. I'm talking about you just affirm the goodness of God, the abundance of God, your confidence in God. You don't have to get into specifics. You probably shouldn't. You probably should not be telling people the things you're believing for, because then they just hone in on that and try to talk you out of it. Or they become scoffers and say, well, what about this thing over here you said? You still don't have it. There's no need to bring that unbelief into your life. So you're better off just not telling people, just talking generically about the goodness and abundance of God. Generally, just doing that is enough to push those negative people away, because they don't want to hear it. They want to talk about negativity. They want to talk about the news. They want to talk about politics. They want to talk about this is going on in the world. That's bad. This plague, this, all those wars and rumors of wars. That's all they want to focus on. And so if you just come with a report of goodness, of praiseworthy things, of virtuous things, they're not going to be attracted to that. And you'll attract more good people who want to believe for the good, who want to speak good things, who want to believe in the goodness and abundance of God. And that will further reinforce within you your faith, your belief in those impossible things, which means you will receive them. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.